Hey, good morning, Kristen. This is Catherine Taylor coming to you from Damn Good Marketing, and this is going to be your website audit. Wanted to just heads up, I have a cold, so if I sound a little congested, I apologize. But what I'm going to be doing in this video is going over 3 areas of focus that can help improve your digital footprint. And then one of the things that Carissa and I would love to do is schedule a one-to-one to first see how we can help each other through BNI referrals, but also if you have questions about some of the information I'm going to show you, how we might be able to assist you there as well. So the 3 topics we're going to talk about is SEO, which is search engine optimization, GMB, which is your Google My Business, and then something called backlinks. And backlinks are simply just a link from one page to another. But I'll explain to you why they're important. So SEO, search engine optimization. What I'm going to do is go through an example real quick of what a keyword is. If you're not familiar with it, this will be informational. If you do understand, this might be a quick review. So anytime anyone opens up a new Google page and we type in a service, whether it's fire and security system company, San Antonio, or it's plumber or etc., this is called a keyword search. When you hit enter, there's 3 areas of focus on the Google page. As you can see here, the top part of it's going to be ads that companies are running. The middle section is going to be your Google My Business, or we call it also the map pack. And then down below is going to be all of your organic traffic based off of the content on your website. So we're going to hop back into your website. And let's go over SEO and content. So Google wants to see at least 1,500 words minimum on your page. And you should also kind of gauge what you have as far as content is concerned to some of your competitors. Google wants to see you educating the end user. They want to know that you're bringing value and adding value to the people who are potentially going to be using your services. Now, I know we want to have websites that really gear what our company is to kind of who we are as a person or a company. But in order to be found on the Google searches and the Google pages, then we have to play by their algorithm rules. And this is just one of the things that they want. When you have content on your page, in that content is where we strategically can place some of those keywords that people are going to be using to find you. And that has to be organically put in there. We don't want to do something called keyword stuffing, where you put too much keywords within too many paragraphs or too close together, because then Google is going to also see that you're trying to stuff all these keywords in there. Some of the research that we provide is going to go based off of what's easiest for you to actually rank for. And I'm going to show you some information here in a minute, but it's not going to be as in-depth research as some of the information that we can dive deeper into. So when you're doing research on what you should have on your page, is going to be really based off of how many people are actually searching for certain keywords. So fire alarm services, security service, CCT service, these would all be things that we would say, okay, what would be the easiest for someone to find your page through? And also, how often are these 3 areas of focus being searched for in your area? The other thing too is, I know you're in San Antonio and you have South Central Texas. The other thing we would want to do is look and see if some other areas outside of the San Antonio, just the surrounding areas, possibly if they pick up more traffic and less less difficulty to rank for. So there's a lot more research that we can do in order to find some of this out. And that's part of some of the services that we do provide, is the research and then helping build content for your page based off that research. So I talked about content. I just think that you could actually use a lot more content on your page. You do have some, but it would be more beneficial for you to have a lot more. And let's go into Google My Business. Now, one of the things I did want to share with you is that you did pull up, not just in fire alarm and security systems, but I did just a search on fire alarms as well, and you pulled up in the Google Map Pack. So awesome job. You are in the top 3. You're number 1 for both, but when I did do a search on fire alarm, you're still in the top 3. The other thing goes along in the lines of being optimized is seeing if there's, like I said before, outside of the San Antonio area, if there's any areas that you would like to be focusing on. We can also see if you are in the top 3 on those particular outlying areas. So awesome job there. You have your reviews. The other thing with Google My Business, that Google My Business helps Google verify your company and your reputation. So it's great that you are in the top 3. So it is helping bring some traction to your site. One of the things that we would want to do too is also just make sure that you have some linking in there that can take you right back to your page. And then you want to just make sure that every time you meet with someone, seeing about getting them to give you a review. So you want constant monthly reviews and adding monthly pictures. That way you can just blow the other companies out of the water. But awesome job on your top 3 map pack there. Just to give you a little bit more education, a Google My Business where you have your name, your address, and your phone number, it's also called a citation. So one of the things that we would want to do is make sure that your citations across all platforms are the same as well. So whether it's just, it's on Google or Yelp or some of the other places that people would possibly look for services, that your information is equal across the board. Okay, so let's hop into something called backlinks. So I'm going to show you in here, this is your website. Your number 1 competitor when it came to this particular search, the fire alarm and security companies, is going to be this security system San Antonio right here. I'm pretty certain this is a national chain, and even if it wasn't, if you can just see how much information is just on this one page, even though this is a service page, because you see over here San Antonio, this isn't even their homepage, I don't believe. I think this is a side service page, but you see how much information is on this particular page. This is providing just a lot of added value to the end user. So it's answering a lot of questions that they might have. And it's also giving Google a lot of information that they can comb through. So when we talk about content, that's just one of the reasons I wanted to point that out. We're going to hop into this company called Ahrefs. This is a subscription that we pay for every month. This gives us a lot of the background information on digital footprints. So to explain, we're just going to look at this top section here. The UR stands for the strength of your website. The DR stands for domain rating, so how credible or trustworthy your website is believed to be. Both of these numbers can go to 100. So we would have some work that we can do there. The domain rating it gets its power from backlinks and referring domains. So a backlink is simply a link from one page to another. And a referring domain is a high power, high credible website that links to yours, and it's showing Google that you are credible and that it's giving you a boost of power on Google's rankings. We talked about keywords, but keywords drive your organic traffic. So based off of your keywords, and I'll show you those in a second, how much traffic you're being found for on the internet organically. And then based off of your traffic value, this is how much it would cost you to run ads. So it is saying that your website, if you were running ads, it would cost you $108 per click. So it's not terrible, but we definitely want more people seeing your website. So to go over those organic keywords that you're being found for right now is TSS security system. So there's several columns in here I want you to pay attention to. Keywords, this is what people are searching for, and this is what Google's finding you for. The volume is how often it's being searched in a 30-day time frame. The KD is the keyword difficulty. Anything up to a 5, 6, possibly a 7 it can be easily ranked for on Google within a 3-month time frame. Anything over that can take anywhere from 5 to 6 months and much longer. So the keyword difficulty has a lot to play into how quickly you can move up in Google. And then the position is where you fall. So you're in the 8th and 9th position, so you're probably being mostly found for Total Security Solution or TSS security systems. And that's because you're on relatively pages, the end of page 1, possibly page 2. With that being said, though, if someone is typing in this particular search, fire alarm and security systems, they're not going to find you because you're not being found for that right now. So let me show you what your competition looks like. So we saw what your backlinks are 34 and referring domains are at 9. Let's hop into security systems. So you can see that there you are, the strength of their website and the trustworthiness are pretty high. And believe it or not, even though it can go up to 100, these are very high numbers. Most companies are usually around 30 on the DR and around a 25 to 30 for domain rating. They have significantly more backlinks than referring domains, and they are ranking for a lot more keywords. That is bringing in over 600 people to view their website, putting their possible, if they were running ads, pay per click at $9,100. So that's a pretty significant jump. And let's look at their keywords. Now, just because they have 600 people going to their website doesn't mean they're making 600 new clients. That is who's going to their website. Your capture ratio is usually around 5 to 10%. So they're being found for Smith Thompson. They're also being found for Home Security Systems San Antonio. So you're going to want to look at anything that has a city or a location at the end of it, because that's what you want to be ranking for. Some of these national keywords, even though they have a high volume, they're not necessarily going to capture that because this is a national keyword. So that's nationwide. You want to see stuff that has a location where you want to be found in. So Home Security Systems San Antonio, it's bringing in around 200 searches per month, has a keyword difficulty of 20, which is pretty high, and then they're in the number 1 position. So to get there, there would be some work that we would have to do. It's not that you can't get there, but there would be work that we would need to do to get you there. So this is where the cost comes into play when someone asks about SEO services. So when you're trying to bring power to your website, that's where the cost of either backlinks or referring domains comes into play, as well as it pushes how quickly you can be found for certain keywords, because the more powerful your website is, the easier it would be to rank for keywords that have a higher difficulty. So these referring domains is what costs money. Even though you might have backlinks and referring domains going to your website, when we talk about SEO services, the bulk of the cost goes to finding similar, if not the same, backlinks and referring domains that your competition has, and most of these are going to cost money. So that's why there's an actual cost to SEO services. And once you start SEO services and you get higher up in their rankings, it does actually take money to stay there. So that's the unfortunate side to some of the power that these things bring in. But in order to keep that power there, you have to keep the links in place, and that can, once again, usually cost some money to maintain. So most of these are going to be blogs. As you can see, this Smith Thompson Security blogspot.com doesn't give any power. It's just bringing probably a backlink in. But what these are doing is it's bringing power to your website. So what we would do is go after some of these higher ranking ones and either mimic them or go after the same referring domain to bring the same kind of power to your website. Because like I said before, what we want to do is create a relationship. We want to provide a level of service. We're looking to try to get a one-to-one with you and go over any questions that you might have, and also be a level of referral base that we can both help with. Carissa is part of Leander Lightning, and she's my business partner. I am out of Tampa, Florida, so we do cover both areas. So with that being said, Kristen, thank you so much for your time. And this is Catherine with Damn Good Marketing. Have a beautiful day.